client come in earlier today mentioning that he was having shoulder pain with push-ups. So I wanted to kind of go through a couple of the first things, the biggest things that I see with folks that are dealing with shoulder pain when they're doing push-ups. The gym I go to, it's a very common problem, whether people are needing to compensate for shoulder pain by doing push-ups from their knees, push-ups from a hand release so that they're not weight bearing the entire time. We see it all the time. And so I wanted to address that and see if we could help you guys deal with some of the shoulder pain that you might be dealing with while doing push-ups. So the first compensation that I see is when you're putting weight through it, you're gonna see some shrugging, okay? What that does is instead of loading the shoulder blade, which is what we're trying to do, load the underside of the shoulder, its shoulder blade, instead of doing that, what happens is a lot of pressure goes to the front of the shoulder. And that's a problem that we don't want. Anytime we can take pressure away from the shoulder and put it on the shoulder blade, that's a good thing. Second problem that I see is when people are doing a push-up, they end up pushing those elbows way out to the side. And so what that does is, again, it puts you kind of in an impingement position, which causes some stress and strain and possibly even pain to the front of the shoulder. So we want to make sure we keep those hands right underneath the shoulders and keep the elbows down by your side. And so I'll show that to you on the floor here in just a second, but again, just to reiterate, the shrug is one of the problems that we see, and the elbows out to the side is the second problem that's super common. So we'll go through that on the floor here in just a second. So for a good push-up, again, we want to have the hands directly underneath the shoulders, elbows stay close to the sides, down, and back up. That first compensation that we saw, we talked about the shrug. And so what that'll look like is as people are going to the bottom, they'll shrug their shoulders up into their ears. And again, that puts a lot of stress and strain on the front part of the shoulder. And I'll show you the second problem that we see commonly is those elbows going way out to the side. And again, that puts a lot of stress and strain because of the rotation that goes through the shoulder with that. So we want to make sure that we're keeping those hands right underneath the shoulders, keeping those elbows down by the side so that you're not putting yourself in a compromised position. Anytime you can do any movement properly, it's going to lead to less stress, less pain. So I hope this helps you guys do push-ups a little easier with less pain.